Hi friends, in this video we'll solve some questions that involve word problem. That's word problem on combination. Now the first question I'm having here says that in how many ways can 3 men be chosen from 8 men? So what I want you guys to take note of is that whenever you want to solve combination word problem, you actually need to take note of these two things. The first one is the total number of an items, or let me just say objects. While the second one is the number of the item you are asked to choose from the total number that you have. For example, let's say you have 10 objects and you are asked to choose 3 objects from 10 objects. It shows that your n is going to be the 10 objects while your r is going to be the 3 objects. Now in this case now, in how many ways can 3 men be chosen from 8 men? So here we have our n. How many men? What's the total number of the men that we have? They say from 8 men. That means we're having 8 men here. Then in how many ways can 3 men be chosen? We want to choose 3 men from 8 men. That means our r is going to what? That's 3. So simply you can just go ahead and see. Record the formula that whenever we have n combination r, the same as what? As n factorial divided by what? R factorial into bracket n minus r factorial. Right? So it's very simple. What I'm going to do now is that I'm going to put it here. I'm going to fix in 8 is actually 8 factorial here. Then here I'm going to have 3 factorial into bracket 8 minus 3 factorial. Right? So simply I can just have this to be equal. That's 8. I'm going to express this more. That's multiply by 7. Multiply by that's 6. Multiply by what? 5 factorial. Divided by what? This is actually 3 factorial into bracket 5 factorial. Exactly. So this 5 factorial will cancel 5 factorial. So here I'm simply having 8 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 6 divided by what? That's actually 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by what? 1. So what will happen in this case is that 8 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 6, then multiplied by 7 multiplied by 6, that's actually divided by 3 times that's actually 6. So here I'm going to have 8 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 6 divided by what? 6. 6 you cancel 6. Then 8 multiplied by 7, that should give me something like, that's actually 56. Right? If I'm not mistaken. That's 56 men. So we have 56 weeks of selecting 3 men from 8 men. So now let's move to the second question I'm having here. The question says, in how many ways can 3 men and 2 women be chosen from 6 men and 4 women? First thing you need to identify is that you need to know the total number of items, or let me just say objects they are talking about. I just use men and women to represent objects. All the best. So in how many ways can 3 men? Now for the number of men, we have men. They are talking about 3 men, which is what? 3, right? Right? That's the first man that we have. The second man that we have. In how many ways can 3 men and 2 women be chosen from 6 men? So we have 6. Then what of women? Women here we have actually, the first one is actually 2 women, and second one is actually, that's actually from 6 men and 4 women. So we have 4. So in this case, this is going to be our r, and this is going to be our n. This is going to be our r, and this is going to be what? Our n. Why? Because that's we have a statement here. We have a word here. From means that you are selecting things from, you want to bring it out from the total number of the item, which is the 6 men and also the what? The 4 men. So what we are going to do is that we are going to record that whenever we have n combination r, the same as n factorial, the other was r factorial into bracket n minus r factorial. So in this case, both when men and women they occur together, they are both items that occur together. That means you are going to use an operation which is what? Multiplying operation, because these men and women they occur together. So here I'm going to have this word to be n factorial for the men is going to be what? 6 factorial divided by what? That's actually 3 factorial into bracket 6 minus 3 factorial. Then multiply by, for the women, I'm going to have 4 factorial divided by what? 2 factorial into bracket 4 minus 2 factorial. So simply, I'm going to have this to be what? That's actually 6 factorial divided by what? 3 factorial into bracket, that's 3 factorial times 4 factorial divided by what? 2 factorial, 2 factorial. Right? So here I simply have 6 multiplied by 4, that's actually 6 factorial, 4 factorial divided by what again? I'm going to have 3 factorial, 3 factorial, 2 factorial, 2 factorial, which I can re-express as this. I can re-express this as what? As 6 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3 factorial. Then what of 4? I can express as 4 multiplied by what? By 3 factorial. then divided by what? I'm going to have 3 factorial, 3 factorial, 2 factorial, 2 factorial. So simply, my 3 factorial can cancel 3 factorial here, 3 factorial can cancel 3 factorial here, right? So 2 factorial is 2 factorial. This multiply, this multiply. 2 factorial is 2 factorial, right? Whenever you have 2 factorial, that's what? 2 times 1. So the 6 as what? Which is what? 2 times 1 is what? 2. And this is also what? 2. So I can simply say this is 2 times 2, which is what? 4. So 4 will cancel this. Then I'm left with what? With 6 multiplied by 5 multiplied by what? 4. Right? So 6 multiplied by 5 is actually 30. Then multiplied by 4, that's actually what? 120. So the answer is what? Is 120. So now let's move to the next question. So guys, let's check the third question I'm having here. The question says a businessman has 8 cars. If his company is invited for a party and he has to instruct his employees to go with 3 cars, how many selection can the employee can they make? That's just it. So the question is actually making sense and it's very simple. So they have 8 cars. That means the total number of cars here is actually 8, right? Then, so they are invited in for a party and the head of the company has to be like, you guys must go with 3 cars. 3 cars out of what? 8 cars. So in this case, we are having what? Our R to what? 3. So here we are going to have n combination R equals what? N factorial divided by what? R factorial into bracket n minus what? R factorial. So in this case, these are 8 cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, right? So if they go with this, that's one selection. If they go with this, that's another selection. If they go with this like this, that's another selection. If they go with this like this, that's another selection. So they have different numbers of ways of selecting all these cars. You understand what I'm saying now? So we just go with the formula using this. So here we are going to have it what? So that's actually 8 factorial divided by what? 3 factorial into bracket 8 minus what? Minus 3 factorial. Let me just say 3 factorial here. So here we are going to have 8 factorial, right? Divided by what? 3 factorial, 5 factorial. Which is same as what? 8 minus 3 is actually 5. So here is actually 8 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 6 by 5 factorial divided by what? 3 factorial and also what? 5 factorial. So this comes with this. So I'm left with 8 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 6 divided by what? 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 1. Right? So here I will simply have 2 goes in 8, that's actually 4. 3 goes in 6, that's actually 2. 2 multiplied by 4, that's 8, right? So this is actually 8 multiplied by 7 divided by 1, which is actually 56. So that's just it. We have it about 56 ways. Exactly. So that's it. So if they try to select the cars, they select, they will actually end up selecting the cars in 56 numbers of ways. So if you enjoyed this video, let's move to the next one. So let's check another question. Some building companies volunteer to build a labor secretariat as demanded by the federal government of Nigeria. Find the number of ways in which some or all of the building companies may be choosing for the job. So if you look at this particular question very well, you'll find out that we are only given the total number of the companies that are interested in building the labor secretariat. So, and their numbers are actually what? That's actually 7, right? Now, what we are going to do is that if they choose one company, there are 7 companies. Let's say they choose one company now. If they choose one company, it is going to be in what? In 7 combination 1 ways, right? That's sure, right? So let's say they choose 2 companies. That's going to be what? 7 combination 2. Let's say they choose 3 companies. That's what? 7 combination 3. If they choose 4, we're going to have it to be 7 combination 4 and so on. It shows that if they go ahead and choose like that, they can choose up to what? Up to 7. Let me just say up to 7 combination 7 ways. So simply, the total number of ways through which they can actually choose all these companies is what we are going to multiply together. For example, now we know that if they choose one company out of all the 7 companies, we're going to have to what? 7 combination 1. If they choose 2 companies out of all the companies, we're going to have to what? 7 combination 2. If they choose 3 companies, that's what? 7 combination 3. If they choose 4 companies, that's what? 7 combination 4. If they choose 5, that's what? 7 combination 5. What of 6? That's 7 combination 6. If they choose 7, that's 7 combination 7. What if they choose 8? It is impossible. Why? Because the total number of buildings that we have, of companies, or building companies that we have is actually what? 7. So the actual numbers of ways that we can have that they can choose the company is actually 7 combination, 7 ways. Then simply let me just multiply all these ways together. I'm going to have this multiplied by this, then multiplying this, multiplying this, multiplying this, and all this. So this is going to be 7 combination 1 is actually, that's 7 combination 1 is actually 7, right? Then 7 combination 2 should give us, that's actually 21, right? This is actually 7 multiply by what? This is 21, right? No, that should be, it should be plus, so not multiply. Actually it should be plus, because we are going to add the numbers of ways together, not to multiply them together. We are adding them together. That should be, we are asked to calculate, find the number of ways in which some or all the buildings can what may be choosing. You understand what I'm saying? So we are not going to multiply together. We are going to add the numbers of what, of ways together. So adding them together, this is going to be 7 plus what, plus 21, right? Plus what again? We are going to have 7 combination 3. 7 combination 3 is actually 35. 7 combination 4 is actually, that's 35 as well. 7 combination 5, that's what, 21. 7 combination 6 is actually, that's 7. Why 7 combination 7 is actually what, that's 1 exactly. So in this case we have everything here, so we are going to add it together. Adding them together, we are going to have this to be 127. So don't just go and make that silly mistake. You are not going to multiply them together, you are going to add them together, because we are asked to find the numbers of ways in which some or all of the building companies may be choosing for the job. So that's just it. So now let's move to the question I'm having here. Now, in how many ways may 9 articles be divided into groups containing 5 and 4 articles? This special question actually has its own formula. The formula is that whenever you are asked to divide a single articles, or let me just say a lot of articles into 2, you are asked to divide them into 2. You are going to have it to be, you are going to represent the article 1 as what, as a letter. Let's just say article 1 is equal to what, A, and article 2 is actually what, B. As in this case, the first article is actually 5, and second article is actually what, 4, as in this case, right? So in how many ways may 9 article, total number of articles that we actually want to divide is actually what, n, which is equal to what, 9. Then be divided into 2 groups containing 5 and 4 articles. This is the 5 and also this is what, 4 articles. So it has its own expression. So the expression is actually A plus B, right, factorial, divided by what, A factorial, B factorial. Our A is actually, that's 5 plus 4 factorial, right, factorial, divided by what, this is actually 5 factorial and also what, 4 factorial. So here I'm going to have this to what, with 9 factorial divided by what, 5 factorial, 4 factorial. So simply I'm going to have 9 multiplied by what, 8 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 6 multiplied by what, 5 factorial divided by what, 5 factorial, 4 factorial. So this cancels this. So here I'm going to have this to what, 9 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 6 divided by what, 4 multiplied by 3 by 2 and by 1. So 2 goes in this, that's actually, let me just say 2 goes in this, that's 4. 3 goes in this, that's actually what, 3. So here I'm left with, oh, let me go with that. This is going to this. Let me just do it like this. 2 goes in 6, that's 3, right? 3 goes in 9, that's 3, and 4 goes in 2, 4 in 8, that's actually 2. So I'm left with 3 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 7 divided by 1. All the best. So here I'm going to have to be what, 3 multiplied by 2, that's actually 6, multiplied by 3, that's 18, then multiplied by 7, that's actually, where's my calculator, that's actually 126 ways. That's 126 ways, and that's just the answer. So if you enjoyed this video, please kindly like and subscribe to my channel. Please kindly like and subscribe to my channel, and make sure you share it with your friend. Thanks for watching.